Ryan, did you turn it?
Hi, this is Ryan Kane at Utah State University, and we're about to start our live broadcasts of all the final projects that the students have made. And we're going to start with Tanner.
Hi, virtual world. I don't know what to say. So my project has to do with light graffiti, and so if you don't know what that is, that's like long exposure photography where you use LEDs or other bright lights to create a painting or some sort of graphic. And it's called graffiti, but I mean, it's not really. It's like something that is not permanent, and it's like a fun way of doing something that's similar to that, where it takes that creativity. It's a form of like street art. So what I did is my first project, I worked with these NeoPixels and Sobel technology and the Gemma, and I sewed them in on top of basically just a paint stick, like that. And then I made it so that the lights light up, and then I have different cycle patterns on it. I'm struggling right now. The battery's low. I need to charge that one, but it's okay. But anyway, it cycles through different color patterns. So. Cool. It's not the battery. I thought it was the battery. It's this first one. There we go. Okay. So we have like red, green, and I can have any of the colors on any of them. It cycles through. I have a program that way. Then from there, what I did is I went on and I moved further and I made like a NeoPixel painter, which it works like a light painter, almost like a printer. So each little LED works basically like a pixel, and as you move it across, the pixels change. I put a stretchy band on top of it to diffuse the pixels so that it's a little bit less slimy, and then it just works off of a charger that you would use for your phone. And then with like a little bit of coding, a lot of stuff is pre-done because I used the Winky tape. I was able to do light graffiti, so as you move it, it changes. I do long exposure photography, and you get cool effects like the ones you see in my project.
This and you go, not really.
You can say goodbye.
Oh, bye everyone. That's my project.
Thanks for sharing, Tanner.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
Okay, so for my project, I made a coat that has hand warmers in it. So on the inside of the pockets, there's some aluminum foil in this one and some aluminum foil in this pocket over here. So when you stick your hands inside of the pockets, then it flips a switch and it starts up a heat pad that's just here next to the pocket. So if your hands are cold outside, you can stick your hands in the pockets and it will warm up your hands. So, yeah.
Very nice.
Any questions or?
I haven't got any questions coming up on the screen. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, you ran into a little bit of difficulty right at the end of the project.
Yeah, so this was my first time ever using transistors or anything like that, so I really had no idea how they worked at all. And so one of the problems, up here in the pocket is the battery with the transistor. It's a little hard to see and the wiring is a little messy. But basically, when you touch it, it flips the transistor, and then the battery will start. It'll start using the battery up here to use the heat pad. But what I learned is that the transistor that I was using up here was too small. So the heat pad needs 5 volts and 800 milliamps. But the transistor, even though it can about 40 volts can go through it, I think. It can only handle about 200 milliamps. So the heat pads don't really turn on. I'll need a bigger transistor, or figure out a different way to wire it or something like that in order for the heat pads to really work. So
Well, Thomas, I really want to thank you for taking the risk of using a tool that you didn't fully understand at first, but then you figured it out. So
Yeah, I mean, it was fun.
I think this is a very successful project.
thank you.
Thank you, Thomas.
Yep.
Hi, Paul.
Hey,
How you doing today? Now, Paul's voice is a little weak, so he's gonna limit his talking to us. But what can you share with us, Paul?
so this is my little mini stage, and where's the battery pack? So I had it tilted up so you could see the light fixtures that I made. I just took some cardstock and I put the circuit on the cardstock with the NeoPixels, and then I made a little light fixture for each one of them. It's got tin foil on the inside to help kind of direct the beam. And it's a little too bright in the room right now, so you can't really see much. And I didn't have time to close in the sides of the stage, but once the sides are closed in and the room is darker, then it should look pretty cool.
Cool. And do you have any plans for something that you might put on the stage, or?
Yes, I actually have it to scale so that the Lego figures will fit on here. And then I also want to put like some more details, like put a little rack of speakers, like fake speakers in the back, and the little monitors up front to make it have a little bit more detail.
Oh, that's awesome! I could picture like little Kiss minifigures there.
It would probably be my Lego Batman figures.
Lego Batman in concert. Nice. Well, it would kind of be like the was it the Oscars where they did the Everything Is Awesome and they had all the characters on stage, I think, during the performance. Cool. Well, thank you for sharing, and thanks for straining your voice for us. Okay, next we're going to come over to Chrisanne. Hi, Chrisanne. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. What can you share with us?
So here's my Big Hero 6 Baymax shirt. If you touch these right here, it plays the theme song. And then since he's like a nurse, if you blow on this, then it will detect your temperature. So.
Ah, very cool. And this is actually a gift, right? This
Yeah,
project?
my nephew.
He's very lucky to get it.
Yeah.
Great project. Thank you.
Thanks.
And then it'll start. It'll signal you that it's going.
Hi, Amberly. We're going to sneak in here and talk to you about your project.
I don't know what to say about it. This is, I wanted to incorporate LEDs and NeoPixels into my artwork because I'm an art major. And so what I did was I sewed two separate circuits into the canvas, and I did one for the LEDs and one for the NeoPixels. I used a lily pad for the LEDs and a Gemma for the NeoPixels, and programmed it so that the LED lights flicker on and off, and programmed the NeoPixels to rotate through different colors. And they're running off of the battery pack. That's pretty much it.
And tell us about the painting.
So this is a painting based off of a long exposure photo of just a major city. I honestly don't know which one.
But you did the painting, right?
Yeah, but I did do the painting. So, yeah.
Came out great.
Thanks.
There you go. Now you're doing better.
I saw you underneath. I'm going to come down. So should we head under?
Yeah.
Okay. So before we go under, Marcus, tell us a little bit about what we're going to see under the table.
Okay, so I put lights behind a picture that I took and made it so that only the background is see-through, the background of the picture, and so the lights kind of make it glow. And depending on how much light the light sensor is picking up, it'll change to different colors. So,
Cool. Is there, if we put our hand in a certain spot, would it make the light sensor?
If I pull it out, it'll eventually pick up a different amount of light.
Oh yeah, so it was blue and now it's getting a little more orange, maybe?
Yeah.
Cool.
See, like if we put it here, and let it read light for a second.
Oh yeah, I can see that it went.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna put it back over here.
Oh yeah, it just switched. Yep, very cool. How does it look at night? Have you tried it at home or?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. You can't really see this part because this is obviously black, but it still looks really cool. I just have the sky lit up.
Can you show us the back a little bit?
Yeah, so on the back we have a light sensor right here, battery here, and the Gemma right here. And then I can't really take it apart, but on the opposite side of this I have just a bunch of lights in a circuit, and they just kind of shine right on the
Awesome.
front. Yeah.
Cool. I hope you hang it up at home.
Yeah, well.
Cool. Thank you.
So you have the non-paid people walking around with the toys.
All right, Jill. We've come to see a jellyfish.
Hi! Alright, so this is my jellyfish. I use a old light cover, and then underneath I use NeoPixels. To the legs I use shower curtain. So it's just a clear shower curtain, got it from Walmart, super easy. And I sewed the 8 NeoPixels together, did a rainbow cycle, voila, there you go.
And do you see, do you have an idea where you're going to put this? Is this going to be for your home, or are you going to gift it to someone?
I'm going to give it to my nephew.
Awesome.
He's scared of the dark, so I'm going to give it to him so he has it when he sleeps.
Oh. And maybe we'll just show a little bit. Very cool. He's lucky to get this.
I know, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Jeff. Are you ready? Can we play?
Somebody to play it.
Kevin, do you want to play for us to demonstrate? Would you mind playing again?
Okay,
So
what do you want? Tell me what you want.
So before we play, why don't you give us a little overview of what's the game about, and kind of a little bit about your process making this game.
How long do you want me to take?
5 minutes.
Okay. This is essentially whack-a-mole. And it only has 6 places where the mole can show up. The mole being a red light that'll show up in one of these spots. And you will have roughly almost a second to hit when that light's on in order to log a point. And this is the scoreboard right here, and every time you make a point, it moves up 1. If you make 8 points, or 7 or 8 points, I can't remember, I think it's 7, then you end up here and the game wins. Every time you miss, whether by not hitting it in time or by hitting the wrong one, it shifts it downwards, and if you get down there, it ends with a loss. That's really the whole idea behind the whole thing.
Cool.
As far as what I did, the process of making it, I've got a ground on this side of each one of these hands. I have a positive that's connected to a different pin on the Arduino up here, and so it can register which hand you're hitting at any one time. And then there's a strip of NeoPixels here and another one inside to get those lights. Wow. The programming on it had some easy stuff and then some stuff that required help that I didn't do. Although I tried. And in the end, I understood how it was. It was just a couple of nested loops that I got help with. It was pretty neat. Other things about it that didn't work, the idea of actually putting the ground and the positive here came from another classmate that was just ingenious and made it a lot easier. So.
Okay, so I think we're ready to play.
Ready to play. Okay, here we go. So I'll switch this on, and it's going to cycle through once through the lights, and then it's going to signal that it's going to start playing. So it scored a point. And another one. Another thing about it is, the higher you go up here, the less time it's going to give you to actually get it right. But Kevin's really good at it, so he'll just go all the way to the top. It's gonna win. He's on fire.
Next time we'll make him play with one hand.
It's a lot faster, and then coordinate.
Yeah, one more.
So like you can't, like there's several ones.
Oh.
Nope, see, it's going down. Two.
Okay, one more. Yep, you got it.
Nice.
There you go.
Very cool project, Jeff. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Kevin, for demonstrating for us. Perfect time for the amplifier. So, do we need the song?
Sure, if you want to put on the
Yeah,
song.
we need the full effect.
The thing is that it's picking up the noise from everyone else also in the room.
Okay.
So if I am just quiet.
Let me let me just drop one of the lights here.
Watch
From the front, or I don't know. Is
Oh
it?
yeah, that looks a lot better.
Yeah. Since it's on the inside, it does. But
Maybe
yeah.
turn towards me. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, now it's much better. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can get that song going.
If you really want. Yeah.
I mean, is it just cycling through?
Oh, it's not a touchscreen, is it?
So that's for your.
Sure, yeah. If you want to put on the song and be kind of weird.
When you turn the lights in, how much of the light filters down?
Yeah, you can.
Turn towards me a little bit. So tell us a little bit about how your process with this.
Okay. Well, I first bought the tie, so this is an actual tie. I went through a couple of knots to see which one would fit best with the microphone that's in the knot to best hide it and give it a pocket so it wouldn't be picking up any ambient noise from brushing against fabric. And once I had the knot, I clipped the back and put it in Velcro. Hey, so that way it's a tearaway tie.
And what kind of knot is it?
It's just a double Windsor, full Windsor. So once I asked my wife to crochet some of the conductive thread, that way I have a really strong conductivity at the top. And yeah, I don't know. I really wanted to put it on the inside because I saw a similar project, but the light's on the outside, and I wanted it so when it's turned off, it just looks like a regular tie. So it's business outside, party inside.
Very nice. And tell us a little bit about the amount of times that you've sewn this.
Oh goodness, yeah. Several times I've had wires break or snap on the inside, so I have in total of 5 times unsewn the tie and resewn it because of either putting the project together or fixing it.
Well, thank you for sticking with it, all those iterations.
Yeah, I really wanted to finish it, and yeah, if I did it again, I wouldn't solder cable between each LED or NeoPixel.
On your data line.
Sewn it.
Yeah.
I'd sew it together for the data line. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
What about using a tie other than white?
I think that might be about it. No, we have 2 more people. Let's see. Come over here.
What's up, Ryan?
How we doing?
Good.
Tell us about your project.
Well, it's kind of an evolution from past projects that I've done. I like to do things that make it easy for kids to learn about circuits and how to build them. So the first project I did was this glove, which has a capacitive touch pad on it. When the kid puts the glove on, they can pick up objects, and it'll light up if it's conductive, and it won't light up if it's not conductive. And then I progressed that into sewing snaps around all the pins of the LilyPad controller, so that when kids are test designing their circuit, it's easy for them just to snap snap the LED to the controller and test if their circuit's going to work without having to sew the project together just to realize that they connected to a wrong pin, or they can't just change the controller by unpicking it because they would cross wires. So it's a quick way for them to prototype and get started testing their circuit designs quickly.
It's a nice way to prototype without having to rip out lots of stitches.
Not having to rip out stitches or redraw your project because something wasn't working. It's a quick way to tell if you crossed wires or.
You have a short, yep.
Have a
Oh,
short.
I'm sorry, I wasn't showing that.
No. So I've got to finish cutting out all the circuits, but I've connected the connectivity to all the pins, and they all work. We also color coded the pins, so the negative pins are going to be red, and so they don't make the mistake of connecting a negative to a positive on the LED and wondering why their circuit's not working or causing a stitch, because someone will be able to come by and say, "Oh, you've disconnected to the wrong."
That's a
wrong
nice.
side of your thing. You
That
can
color
flip it
coding
around.
is a nice feature.
So that's the project. It doesn't look like much, but it's got a lot of functionality.
Yeah, and it'll be a nice instructional piece for other, not only just kids, but I think adults too.
I was thinking as I built this, if I laid out a circuit that worked, I could just put that on paper and actually trace over with a marker something on the wire and have my working prototype perfect, and I would see where it crossed.
And you could build right off that pattern.
I wouldn't have to redraw it. I could just draw something. This work, transfer it, trace it. Done.
Very cool, Matt. Thank you.
Yep.
Steve, would you like to share? Hi, Steve. Tell us about your project.
All right. Mine is supposed to be like a study cap, okay? And I'm gonna Velcro it inside here at one point, but it's supposed to be a study cap for when the lights are off. I mean, when the lights go out, it will turn on these lights and will light up whatever's in front of you, they will stay on and stay white for about 45 minutes, and then once that's up, it will change blue to signify that you can go on a break. And once 15 minutes are over, or almost over, it will turn red to tell you to get back on task, and then the whole thing will start over again.
Great. I think that's going to be a nice study tool. It'll come in handy next semester.
It will, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
So we're going to say goodbye. Those are all our projects for today. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.